Thank you all for coming today. As you know, the purpose of this event is to announce my running for Tennessee's 4th District seat in the United States House of Representatives. I hope you'll allow me a few minutes to explain why I'm entering this race. This little homemade campaign may look kind of crazy, but it may look like David going after Goliath, but like David, we have a mandate. We have a mandate to do something. We have got to do something. We do not have a choice. Thank you. But what I don't like is, and please, well, jump on me if you want to, but when Nancy Pelosi said, here's this 2,000-page bill, and we don't know what's in it, you don't know what's in it, we don't know what's in it, we're going to have to pass it first, then you get to see what's in it. That's no way to govern. The very first things I would do is introduce legislation that would make it criminal. Criminal. You go to jail over this one. Before any member of the House or Senate can vote on a bill, they have to indicate, and it'll probably be an electronic, signature. They have to indicate under penalty of perjury, with criminal consequences, that they have personally read, every word in detail of the legislation, and that they purport to understand it. And if they won't push that button, then they don't get to vote on it at all. That's something I very much would like to see. And I can't imagine I can't imagine that Maggie would be opposed to that. Would anybody here be opposed to that? And that would reduce the length of bills. It would make the language understandable, because I guarantee, I'm going to say, if Jim Tracy can understand it, I guarantee we can understand it too. But what I don't want is for us to say, well, we elected those folks, now we can go back to what we're doing and let them go on autopilot, and when they get on TV and lie through their teeth, and we know they're lying. We all know they're lying, and we just sit there and say, well, that's how politics is, they just lie to us. No, that isn't going to make it. We have got to stand up and fight back politically. We've got to fight back politically, because this can't go on. It cannot continue the way it's going. We're in a mess. The country's in a mess, and it's getting worse. May I use the L word? Liberal?
You've used it.
Progressive. You're a progressive. I'm a conservative. But we agree about something, I think. The country is in a mess, and it's not headed in a good direction. I do want politicians and elected officials frightened vis-a-vis their power. They want power. They want to keep their power. And when I say I want them scared that they're going to lose their power. But frightened that they can no longer use the same tactics of lying and manipulation in order to keep their power. I want them every day frightened that, oh my gosh, people are going to find out what's going on, and I'm going to have to go home and get a job again. We've gotten ourselves in a quagmire in the Middle East, and it's been something that's gone on for at least a century. Our getting ourselves involved there. And I did not know until a few nights ago, we're doing the same thing now in Africa. If you look at a pin map of U.S. military involvement all across the African continent, it looks, as one journalist put it, like mushrooms after a monsoon. It's breathtaking what we are doing in Africa with the U.S. military all over the continent, and a lot of it is secret. U.S. citizens are not much aware of it, and when inquiries are made by journalists, they don't necessarily get much information. And I'm concerned that that's going to be our next quagmire. And I don't want that for the next generation. So I'm in favor of our looking at all these things and bringing them home. I recognize we're going to need, I would suppose, and here I'm motioning to Bill because he's got military expertise. I understand we need some naval installations. We need some air installations in various places around the globe. I would assume to maintain the Navy and air capability. But this business of having U.S. military in 150 countries, I'm not in favor of it. And I can't imagine there's anyone here who's in favor of some kind of active military intervention in Syria, of all places. We have freedom. We have autonomy. We just have to have the courage to exercise it. We have to have the courage to say no. I've said this to the Bedford County Department of Education. Tell the state of Tennessee and the federal government, no, we're not going to do it. What are you going to do? Come arrest us all? No. And I like to use Rosa Parks. I've got Rosa Parks' picture in the #1 place of honor in front in my classroom. And I like to tell the students she's my favorite criminal. Because she said no, and they said, well, this is the law. You have to. And she said, I don't give a hoot what the law is. I'm not doing it. And we need to do that. We have got to quit being passive. And we can disagree. There's a progressive, there's a progressive, there's a progressive, there's a liberal. And I'm willing to disagree. I don't mind disagreement, and I don't mind losing the argument. I don't mind losing arguments to you. But I want everybody in America to stand up to the government. And I don't care if it's George Bush's government. I don't care if it's John Boehner. I don't care if it's Lamar Alexander. I don't care if it's Barack Obama. I don't care who it is. I want Americans to stand up and get active and energetic. Everybody. Not somebody else. Everybody. Whatever it is you believe, get up and fight for it and quit letting all these politicians run us over. I'm tired of it, and it's dangerous, and it's unfair because we inherited something great. We inherited something unique in human history, and we are watching it unravel. I don't know about you, man, but I don't want the government in his telephone. Now,
I don't disagree with that.
okay, well, what are we going to do? I'm not so concerned about my winning every debate in regard to exact policy. If we get the factual information out, all the information, we process it in a rational and constitutional manner, and we wind up with something that I don't personally like, I'm okay with that. I can live with it. Thank you all for coming. I appreciate it. We really are going to put up a Facebook page very soon. This is going to have very specific things that I would like to see everybody do.